Good morning, class. Today we're gonna be learning about Mewtwo inside the Master League. So grab a seat, get ready for your notes, cause it's time for a lesson. Just a quick reminder: if you want to get a better grade in class, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Also, if you want to see what I do a few days in advance, check me out on twitch.tv/Super Science Sensei. I hope to see you guys there. Okay, so today we are going to be learning about one of the most dominant forces in Master League. We're gonna be learning about Mewtwo, not Mew, Mewtwo. It's called Mewtwo because he deserves two shields if you want to run him in your team, but he could settle with 0 or 1 depending on the situation. Mewtwo in Master League is one of the scariest mons in the entire league, if not the entire game. Ignoring the megas here, you notice Mewtwo ranks at number 3 overall, right? If you look at its scores, it has a high score for as a lead, as a closer, and as a switch. Okay, give it the we're gonna give it a archetype, and I don't know about you guys, but I like calling Mewtwo. Um, I would like to say it is the Swampert of Master League. Big, fast damage boy. Okay, I want to put boyo because it sounds cuter. Okay, Mewtwo is ridiculous. Mewtwo is crazy. Mewtwo does so much damage that it is what Swampert inside Ultra League would want to be, but isn't. Mewtwo, because of Cycle Cut and because of the broken move Side Strike, it is able to destroy entire teams if they aren't prepared to deal with it. So, as far as moves go, the move suggested inside this video is going to be Cycle Cut for the fast move. And then later, after that, Side Strike plus Flavor. Okay? You guys can pick whatever type of flavor you want, but it doesn't really matter. Some people really like Shadow Ball because it gives a huge amount of matchup wins if you're playing as Mewtwo. I personally like Focus Blast because you can one-shot things like Dialga, the strongest thing in Master League, and Melmetal, a very, very ninja's annoying force inside Master League. You can also pack Shadow Ball if you want to take out the other ghosts or opposing Mewtwo's. You can also get Ice Beam if you really are inclined to hurting the dragons, and you can also go Flamethrower if you really feel inclined on hurting the steels. With that said, though, most of the time, hitting Side Strike is going to be the correct play. Mewtwo, with just Side Strike, can actually do a significant amount of work. Um, just so we can see how ridiculous Mewtwo is, there are very few losses right here for Mewtwo. And more importantly, I just want you guys to understand. Let's look at Dialga, the scariest Mon in all of Master. Let's put him as a level 41 best buddied Dialga Hundo. Let's pretend that we don't have Focus Blast. Remember, kiddos, Steel resists Psychic. So these Psy Strikes are going to be resisted on this Dialga. Dialga is going to be taking resisted damage, not even the full amount of damage that Mewtwo can pack out. We put one shield, we hit battle, right? And look at that. We bring him down to 3 HP. What the fluff is going on? We best buddy our Mewtwo? Wait, whoa. Okay. Well, that works. The thing about Side Strike is that a Side Strike Mewtwo, with just spamming Side Strike, can bring Dialga to 1 HP. I'm not sure if the calcs are perfect on that, but 1 HP, not even using the Focus Blast. If you do decide to use Focus Blast on this guy, though, you take out 116% of his life bar in a single move. Side Strike by itself on a resisted Mon will do a whopping 36% damage to the face. Okay? That is how scary Mewtwo is. Against a Giratina Origin, If you have an energy advantage and they decide to use one shield, and let's say you get three cycle cuts in advance, one, two, three, right? They use one shield, you use one shield, right? You die, but barely. But look at how much damage the side strikes are. Side strike takes 47% damage. You force them to burn a shield. If you went to a no shield situation, obviously you're gonna die to the shadow ball. We're really getting close to it. But look at how much life it takes off there. Your ability to gain energy and your ability to throw them for ridiculous damage is crazy. This is one of the best counters to Mewtwo inside the Master League meta. And if you guys just fight straight up, every side strike, if it is not blocked, it will do half of their life bar right there. Granted, that one big thing about Mewtwo is Mewtwo can be a little squishy. Things like Kyogre with fast moves that hurt like heck and stuff like that, and Dialga with fast moves that hurt like heck can actually do a big chunk per move that goes on. That's why in the one shield situation, Mewtwo loses to Kyogre. That's why in the two shield situations, that's why Mewtwo loses to Kyogre, just because of the waterfall damage. Okay? As such, when you guys use Mewtwo, I would say Mewtwo is the best rolls due to the fact that it has a lot of great neutral matchups. The best overall role for it is an offensive safe swap, right? I'm just going to put offensive safe swap, right? It can also work as a lead slash closer. And the reason why it can work in any position is that as a lead, due to the fact that opponents will have to use shields because nothing wants to take a side strike happily. Um, Melmetal, the most common steel type after Dialga, also isn't happy taking these side strikes, which do 31%. Um, Metagross doesn't mind too bad, but one well placed Shadow Ball, one well placed Focus Blast will wipe you out. Still does 22% of its life, and this is double resisted. Since Mewtwo can take shields by farming up to the big boy move like Focus Blast and then throwing a Side Strike if they don't respect it, um, Mewtwo is good as a lead to remove shields and let your mons in the back crush them in the back if they don't have shields, like a Draco Meteor from Dialga or Earthquake from Groudon. Its most typical role, and generally a lot of people consider its best role, is offensive safe swap. And the reason why it's really good as an offensive safe swap is because if you guys look as a switch, Mewtwo, Shadow Mewtwo, both really high damage, right? With an energy advantage, it's able to win against a lot of different mons. Even though here it shows that Groudon can win, that's assuming it can bait you with a Fire Punch. And if you take the Fire Punch, it has no chance to destroy you because two side strikes instantly devastate that Groudon. Origin as well needs to burn the shields and has to bait with Ominous Wind, and the Dragonite is gonna be really really close either way. Just overall, Mewtwo's very very scary. The counters to it aren't super reliable because with enough energy, Mewtwo with two shields, one of the scary Mewtwo with energy and two shields is some of the scariest things in the entire game. Okay, now Mewtwo primarily uses offensive safe swap. It's good as a lead. It can close well. So substitutions for Mewtwo. Now, there is no Mon that hurts as much as Mewtwo and does things as quickly as Mewtwo and threatens as much as Mewtwo. But one thing that we can look forward to is, as far as substitutions, something that doesn't work nearly as well, but is the much riskier, not as scary version of Mewtwo is Darkrai. I personally wouldn't suggest it. I would suggest the actual substitution for Mewtwo that can be a good swap, a good lead, and a good closer is gonna be Dialga because Dialga can do everything, right? Um, Darkrai actually beats Mewtwo. Darkrai with Dark Pulse and Focus Blast has similar moves of coverage ish. Main issue is that Darkrai is not as scary as Mewtwo, and Dark Pulse is not nearly as broken as Psystrike. We'll keep you informed once we see the numbers on Dark Void. But really, you just want good safe swaps. So Dialga's a pretty good safe swap. Gira Altered is a defensive safe swap, not really the same role, but I mean, it kind of works. I would say there's no real replacement for what Mewtwo does inside Master League, except for possibly Shadow Mewtwo. Mewtwo charges energy quick. Mewtwo hits hard regardless of what move it uses, and Mewtwo is the scariest thing with 2 shields and loaded energy. Now, as we said before, main things to watch out for as far as fighting as Mewtwo inside our matchups is we have to be scared of strong fast move damage, because if those fast moves hit you, you will lose. You also have to be scared of things that can't, that have high Dragon Breath. I mean, Dragon Breath is really good farm damage. Kyogre has really good waterfall damage. Togekiss actually can lose to you, but Charm is really high damage. Your Mewtwo's gonna die from residual damage. Um, the main issue, the best counter to Mewtwo though, ignoring all the numbers on the fast move damage and everything. The biggest counter to Mewtwo, in my opinion, is going to be residual damage and no shields. Oh, actually, shields in general. Because if you have shields against the biggest opponent to any Mewtwo, we can look inside these rankings here, and it says Giratina Origin, it says Dialga, Groudon, Metagross, Palkia, and stuff like that. But and if you look at overall for Mewtwo, it shows you all these different things. Yo, that's a lot of cool information and all, but the biggest counter to Mewtwo is 2 shields, right? If the opponent has 2 shields, Mewtwo is sad, right? Strongest thing for Mewtwo, if he has Mewtwo shields, it's happy, right? Um, the shielding situation is primarily the main thing. Biggest counters to Mewtwo is the opponent having 2 shields or the opponent having good fast move damage. Okay. Um, that's the main thing. Let's look over Mewtwo. It's a pretty quick video. We want to go over it and make sure we understand what's happening. Mewtwo, the archetype is a fast damage. Oh no, fast damage, fast charge damage boy. Side strikes are super quick to get to. Side strikes hit super hard. It's like the Swampert of Master League, except for if Swampert killed everything with its moves. Okay. Um, the moves that you want to have Cycle Cut for really fast energy generation. You want Side Strike because it's the best move arguably in the entire game. And you want to have a move that gives you coverage in the back in case they don't have shields. A Dialga with no shields against a Mewtwo with a shield is a dead Dialga. Okay. The role of Mewtwo is it's an offensive safe swap, right? It can be a great lead or closer, but it's generally best as a safe swap where you come in, load a bit of energy, they swap out, and you just start throwing side strikes at everything that comes in. Only real substitutions for Mewtwo are safe swaps as well. Glassy Mons that can kind of do damage, they won't be as scary as Mewtwo. Like Raikou, Darkrai kind of do its job, but Mewtwo's the only real offensive, safe swap threat for Master League at the moment. Matchups, Mewtwo can win against a lot of different mons. Against a majority of the meta, nothing really wants to take a side strike. So you just keep throwing side strikes. You will crush it. You will crush with Mewtwo. And like Kyogre, a single side strike does, let's see, 52% of its life. So 2 side strikes, it's dead. Groudon, 2 side strikes, it's dead. Giratina Altered, Giratina Origin, 2 strikes is dead. Giratina Altered, a little bit bulkier, right? Giratina Altered, 40% of its life bar. So one of the strongest tanks inside of all of Masters gets killed within 2 side strikes. If you don't resist side strike, side strike almost always like 2 shots I'm on. Okay. Um, Best counter to Mewtwo is having shields against it and lots of fast move damage. Okay, so Mewtwo, Glass Cannon, fast damage, super scary, really big boyo, scariest mon in all of Master League with the energy. The 2 in Mewtwo stands for the fact that 2 shields are what's going to help you, and 2 shields are what is going to kill you. Okay, Mewtwo is definitely one of the best ones in Master League. It's been used by a lot of different teams, and it can really destroy a team that's not well prepared to handle it. With that said, I know you guys have other classes to attend, so I hope to see you guys all next time. Class is dismissed.